Oh, you flipped too hard, damn it!
The money that you're talking about, like if someone's playing Thor, like that's a good one.
Yeah, that guy sauced it up 100%. Hemsworth.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we are going to be talking about the coming full circle, bro, of every single gram of protein ingested, every center fit body weight program that apparently built this physique completed, every extra bit of sleep that was taken, every fucking chucking a goddamn Bosu ball against the wall, every injection administered. We're talking about the culmination of all the results of the hard work put in by Chris Hemsworth to play Thor in Love and Thunder. This is the portrayal of what is probably, I'm assuming, going to be his most goddamn yoked physique of all time, because he is also playing Hulk Hogan in that, I'm assuming that is still happening, that movie where he's portraying Hulk Hogan. He's supposed to be a fucking behemoth of a human, and it seems like the demands were even higher than they've been in the past. You know, in the past, he had to transform from this, tweedly little fucking guy as in 2004, 2007 in Home and Away. He was a little stick surfer fucker. And then he turns into this badass looking, but probably still natty guy in A Perfect Castaway. Looking pretty decent, genetically blessed individual, but certainly not sauced out of his fucking tree, bro. And then here he was in Cabin in the Woods, 2011, before things got real. Super physiological, bro. This is when he shortly thereafter basically stacked on 20 to 30 pounds of lean mass in a matter of months, and boom, showed up to the first Thor movie of all time. I think he was like 29 years old or something, and now he is, it's almost 10 years later, and the guy is still stacking on mass like no other, making gains despite almost being 40. I'm not saying you can't do that, by the way. I'm just saying that, like, the guy is clearly, he made absurd progress out of fucking nowhere, turned into a behemoth of a human, then fluctuated up and down. Like, this was him in Thor 1, fluctuated up and down massively for a bunch of different roles. This was, you know, some 2015 movie he did. This was him emaciating the fuck out of himself for another movie. This is him getting yoked as fuck again for another Thor movie, getting smaller again for Ghostbusters, going back and forth, back and forth. And I talked about, you know, testosterone dose response studies, as well as numerous other factors that probably went into his transformation in my first video in 2019, what I think he took for Thor. This is about the first movie. And I made multiple videos since then. He is a very, trending guy. He's like the only, I would say, like the most accurate portrayal of an actual superhero. Like the, characters you saw in the comic books as a kid, this guy is like actually the physical embodiment of what you would have seen in like a Thor comic, essentially. So here I talked about when he achieved his peak status, seemingly. This was like the movie's actually coming out now. So he's, achieved this look a while ago, but it's like we're just seeing the, footage of it actually come out in this new trailer that was just released. Official trailer, it's already at like 6.7 million views, and it was posted like however many hours ago. It's fucking absurd, dude. Like the amount of views on that is just like unfathomable. Let's see, his 5,000 calorie diet we've reacted to, his, skills as an actor, his body double who like couldn't even keep up with him because he is just, pushing the envelope so fucking hard. And some of the absurd claims that were made about his center fit app and some of the transformations that were accomplished via, these workouts they were doing that basically gave him the Thor physique, which then he actually sold for like, I don't know, 100 million bucks or something. I forget what the center fit app sold for, but recently it was acquired, as far as I know, for a hefty lump sum of cash. And it's kind of interesting because that is essentially on the back of Chris, and Chris's physique that fuels the center fit thing is on the back of his genetics, of course, but also hormone use. Because ultimately, if you were this guy, would you have sold as many, center fit app programs? Would you have, blown up the way you did? Would people even care if you were not Thor and looking like this? Probably wouldn't be where you would be. So it's just like another example of a, Hollywood star essentially, capitalizing on the, risk they're putting their body under, but also the, complete, I don't know, like covering up the fact of what they're actually doing, which is just a common practice in Hollywood. You know, it's kind of taboo still. You know, The Rock won't even talk about what he's doing, despite the fact that he's like twice the size as he was decades ago at this point. And it's like blatantly obvious, but the general population will still think he is natural, and that's fine. You know, maybe it's better if they do, who knows, but it can be quite misleading in my opinion, and I think it leads to you know, unrealistic expectations, you know, insecurity in men and whatnot, because again, it's not just women who have to deal with unrealistic body image issues. When you see shit like this, it's like, damn, trend sounds pretty fucking good right now. Like, that's the kind of thing that we, you know, think as men. What up? We're talking about hairy balls. Yes, this is a big fucking problem if you have these and they are not hygienic, as well as if you keep your body hair, you know, growing to disproportionate lengths and you end up masking your perceived body fat percentage and your vascularity by looking fatter than you actually are. Something that obviously Hemsworth had taken care of before this scene. You think he showed up to this scene without being fully manscaped? Of course he fucking didn't, bro. This is the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped sponsoring today's video. Very much appreciated for them sponsoring the video. We always take great you know, care of our sponsors on this channel, and very much appreciate when you guys support them, which mutually supports me when they stick their neck out for me. But at the end of the day, we all know, or I would hope we know, the importance of keeping yourself spick and span down there. And this is the equipment to do it with their 4th iteration. This is the 4.0 update of their equipment, and they're offering the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver, ball deodorant, crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. This is using a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It is waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight you need for a more precise shave. In addition to that, the nose and ear trimmer no longer have to deal with those, you know, like scraggles and shit that are popping out. It doesn't look good. Unsightly goddamn shit, dude. You gotta get rid of that. In addition, ball deodorant, crop reviver, ball toner will change the way you approve your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, your balls will thank you. It is on the inside of the package as well. And they have some other goodies in there that I mentioned as well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this stuff is prudent to not be grossing out your potential partners, and just being overall hygienic, and also showing the most potential you have possible. Like the difference in manscaping versus not only for, I don't know, like besides hygiene, perceived Johnson size, in addition to that, like from your body perspective, we're talking about Thor right now. Like, this guy looks absolutely nuts. Do you think he would mask that progress with absurd carpets on his chest and his back? A lot of you guys probably manscape as is, regardless if it's with, you know, Nair, regardless if it's with an inefficient shaver like I was doing for a while. Having a good high quality electric device and the appropriate ancillaries to use for your ball hygiene and whatnot, fucking prudent, dude. So anyways, if you want to support me, you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Derek at manscaped.com, and that is linked in the description below. So you can check it out, and if you want to support me, it's all down there. Much appreciated when you guys do. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. So it's a real thing. So anyways, this trailer, he literally said he had to get to bigger than ever. Like, he has done numerous roles. He's played Thor multiple times now. And I don't think the pressure was ever as high to look as nuts as in this one, because he has to also play Hulk Hogan in this same time frame. So, and I don't think he, you know, failed to capitalize. The guy looks absolutely nuts, and we get into it in this video, and we will be reacting to the official trailer. I might jump around a bit, because you can bet your fucking ass that Marvel Entertainment is not too, probably pretty trigger happy with their copyright claims. So we're gonna, you know, be relatively jumpy all over the fucking place and then get right to the point. I'm not gonna react to the whole thing, because you can go watch it yourself. So here he is looking, you know, you already see it's like terrible lighting. You can already see like a fucking delt separation from his goddamn meat hanging off of his arm. Here he was when he was fat as hell in that, not actually fat, he had like a fat suit on in Avengers. Let's jump to the part that...
And flick.
Boom.
Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
Nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts, dude. Look at this cap. This is literally a bowling ball hanging off of your fucking body, ready to dislocate itself and hit a strike. Like, this is next level. This is literally the physical embodiment of fucking trend. of everything you've ever hoped from anabolic androgenic steroids. And he is great, dude. He is, like, this is peak Thor in my opinion, or at least, you know, from what I've seen.
Flick too hard, damn it!
Hyphy, bro. Fucking hyphy. And all the, oh, even the dude fucking fell over.
Should we help him? And eventually, grape.
No popcorn, just grapes, because we're fucking fancy like that. So they blow off his clothes and reveal the absolute IFBB Pro physique, essentially. Not actually, but like he has good fucking genetics, good inserts. The guy, who knows, he could be a nutty men's physique pro probably if he wanted to be. But yeah, like this is the peak physique that I have probably ever seen of him. Looking full, looking nuts. The crazy thing about this though is this is not even close to representative of what he would have looked like, I bet you, like a week later. This guy is, despite the fact that he is Chris, and this is literally the actor playing Thor, no one looks like their peak role 24/7. So at least you can take away from that. If you get, you know, insecure about this, you get the male body image issues, the thing you can remind yourself is even these guys don't look like these guys. It's absolutely unrealistic to think you're gonna walk around like this unless you're Mike O'Hearn, I guess, and you can fucking do it for the rest of your life somehow. Completely naturally, of course, but this is the result of peaking for the role, taking a shit ton of, more than he's ever taken, I'm sure, in terms of anabolic exposure, eating a fuck ton of food to gain this much new mass, you know, potentially cutting back down after, maybe doing a water deplete beforehand, getting a pump beforehand, carb loading, and showing up and like literally 10 minutes before the scene, he was probably off stage, hitting some bicep curls, some push-ups, some lateral raises, whatever it was, to get blood flushed into the muscle, max hyperemia for this fucking scene, bro, and look as nuts as goddamn possible. And you know, it definitely worked. It definitely looks sick, but you have to keep in mind this is, even these guys don't look like these guys. And they have a nice blurred ass shot, which is like, I don't know, man. Like I guess it's funny. It looks like his calves have come up a lot, actually, you know, now that I'm analyzing the whole fucking physique as a cumulative structure, if that's even a grammatically correct way to say it. But everyone said Chris Hemsworth skips leg day when they saw him in shorts. I don't know, man. It looks, you know, these are some solid meaty calves, bro. Back, can't really assess it, but yeah, I'm sure he does not have striated glutes, but you know, for all you people who are hoping to see, too bad. Sorry, it's all blurred out, bro. So anyways, apparently everyone's so dumbfounded by this that even the fucking even the fucking dude who is also chiseled, by the way, not a Thor physique, but looks pretty goddamn good. Even he fucking faints. Why? I don't really know. But anyways, you know, this is a highly hyped up movie. And at the end of the day, if anybody was the representation of what goes on in the Hollywood world for preparing for roles, it is this guy. The most dramatic before and after, perhaps short of, you know, Kumail Nanjiani, Christian Bale, just by the disparity of his emaciated physique, to then, you know, Batman, where he, you know, was like, I don't know, 12 to 15% body fat and like kind of jacked. But the disparity between that is like the actual achievement and the physique itself. This is the most impressive overall physique that also started from a baseline that is good by all means, but is drastically, like, you could still qualify this easily as naturally achievable, obviously. And I guess with Kumail, you know, his baseline was, you know, atrocious essentially, you know, by any person would think like, oh, this is like an out of shape nerdy dad bod. And he probably, you know, has said that himself multiple times. And then he looked shredded as fuck. But ultimately he was like 160, 170 probably, maybe 180 to 185. I don't really know what he weighed, but it's not like he had mass simultaneously with cuts. He was like a fucking trend out, like shred city, bro. But he was not like an actual beefy, simultaneously ab showing house of a human like Thor is. So, and I'm sure there were other nutty transformations I'm missing. I've covered most of them on my channel. I think Amir Khan had a fucking nuts one. There's a lot of people who have had nuts transformations, but I think the most overall impressive, best representation of the role physique is ultimately Chris. He obviously committed himself to it and is willing to risk his health. You know, he is in his late 30s now. He has a big family, and to stack on huge amounts of size when it is not your priority and it's simply for a role, like, you know, obviously the ROI is there when you're portraying a superhero and you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and you probably have top tier doctors overseeing your cardiovascular health and whatnot at the same time. It's going to be interesting to see if he maintains this, though, moving into his, later 40s. Like, you have guys like, I think Chris is not yet at like The Rock caliber, where The Rock is so dependent on his physique. Maybe he could downsize and be fine. He's very charismatic and would probably do just fine, but the guy is so attached to his image at this point and has maintained this look where he gets these roles that are essentially, I don't know, pigeonholing him a little bit to being the jacked alpha fucking guy, whereas Hemsworth takes on like a bit more diversity, seemingly. Like, he always plays like, the like good looking like whatever guy, but I mean, he doesn't always have to sauce his face off like The Rock does. And, it definitely works in his favor, because having these periods of exposure and then periods of actual, borderline nattiness, probably just baseline TRT, and maintaining like a more reasonable, baseline year round, I think is probably going to be conducive to sustaining his longevity in this industry, as well as being mindful of, being there for your family and shit. Because I always wonder when I see these massive behemoth fucking dudes, like, one day are they just gonna have a jammer in their 50s and like, are they unaware that that is on the horizon, or do they just they're so in their fucking element and cannot get the idea out of their head that they need to downsize to save themselves, that they just push it? Because again, how many guys in like pro wrestling, for example, did we see kick the can earlier? Guys in pro bodybuilding, like somebody like The Rock or some of these other individuals, I think they have to almost, bite the bullet and pull a Batista. Like, Batista used to be more jacked even than Hemsworth here, and more jacked than The Rock. And he really, really, really took it upon himself to responsibly downsize. And he still has roles, seemingly. He still has good roles and is more successful than ever, presumably. So, I don't know. Maybe The Rock can make it happen too. But it's funny because when you look at these guys, like, Hemsworth is bar none, I think, the like poster boy example of like, okay, like if we're gonna debate like who did shit, like this guy definitely fucking did it. Like, we even talked about it when I was at Joe Rogan's podcast. It was like the thing we could mutually agree on was like 100% Chris Hemsworth sauced it up.
The money that you're talking about, like if someone's playing Thor, like that's a good one.
Yeah, that guy sauced it up 100%. Hemsworth.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hemsworth backed on like 20 pounds or 30 pounds in a matter of like 6 months or something absurd.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Yeah, and if you look at him before Thor 1, it was like a night and day difference.
It looked like a skateboarder.
Yeah, he looked like a surfer dude.
Look at the video before. That's hilarious.
So if you use the Center Fit program, are you going and you use the workout that Thor used, even though we both fucking know that the things they were showing in that workout were absolutely not what he was doing, and you follow the same diet as him and all this shit, are you going to look like him? Of course not. It's unfortunate that some of these marketing tactics are used that even imply you will get a semblance of the same results when you are not only not genetically the same whatsoever, but in addition to that, this guy has pharma grade shit, doctors overseeing his care, has genetic response to the shit that's also very good and favorable, and is ultimately enhancing the shit out of himself. Like, that is what it boils down to at the end of the day. And this is not something that is realistic for a natural athlete in any capacity whatsoever. His results are, absolutely, shockingly good. Like, the guy looks amazing, and I think he did it's kind of a weird fine line, because it's like, should you be telling the truth and, somewhat indirectly influence people to take shit that might have not otherwise, because you have basically stated that you used enhancement to build your physique for this movie? Or at the same time, are you going to market to them and imply that your workout regimens and stuff that you're selling for a hefty profit? Again, it's not just millions of dollars. This is in like the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars with this Center Fit thing. Your like program is what got you to where you were without the mention of the supporting pharmacology. It's an interesting conundrum, and I believe it's misleading, but I also do see the other side of the coin a little bit. But, concealing shit and not being transparent is like, it doesn't really sit well when you are selling a program that implies results that got you this. So I don't know. At the end of the day, The guy is a hard fucking worker, obviously, and he has the genetics to back it up, and he's capitalizing on it. Good for him. And I'm sure it'll be a good movie. Let me know if you guys are going to see it. If you've been a fan of the previous Thor movies, what you think about the most recent physique transformation, the Thor, the Hulk Hogan biopic that he's going to be doing too, if you're looking forward to that. Should be interesting to see what he looks like in that, especially. Like, I'm probably more interested to see what he looks like in that even than this, because like presumably he might have pushed the envelope even fucking harder after this point to then peak another level. Like, the guy has gone like super physiological. Like, that's how fucked up this is. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All the comments help the algorithm, are much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.com. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplates, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My preventative medicine and hormone replacement therapy platform. Get connected with high-level doctors who understand endocrinology inside out and stay on top of all the cutting-edge literature that I try very hard myself to keep up to date on my channel, staying on top of all of the developments when it comes to hormone management, optimization, preventative medicine, diagnostics, etc. In addition, this is not just if you're somebody seeking, TRT or something like that. Like, we will evaluate the diagnostics of individuals who are natural and provide all prudent options, even for individuals who are, qualified for hormone replacement or something of that nature, in order to show you all of the natural interventions that could optimize your hormonal state, quality of life, mental clarity, muscle growth potential, sleep quality, as well as a side tangent from sleep hygiene, which is prudent to look at before you just assume you have something like low testosterone. We do it all. We're turnkey, and we help individuals. And when I say it's not just for people who are looking for HRT, I just want to make that clear, because when I call it a preventative medicine and hormone replacement therapy platform, you can imagine it's pigeonholed to potentially something just hormone related, when it's not the case whatsoever. We deal with a lot of naturals who are just looking to optimize their health and quality of life as well. So check it out. If you want a high quality doctor in your camp, cannot be overstated the importance of that enough. As well, if you want to support me, Gorilla Mind nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode pre-workout formulas, designed myself from scratch, recommended diet model for gaining muscle and sports performance. Very critical if you ever feel like, trying to maximize your genetic potential. Having a micronutrient dense diet model is something often overlooked, and people don't realize how important micros are, not just macros, for testosterone synthesis and other cofactors for actually building muscle and whatnot. So it's definitely prudent to have a high quality diet model on your side that, is turnkeyed already for you too. We have a lot of example diets in that breakdown. In that book, it's not my book, by the way, it's Dan Efferding's book, a very accomplished powerlifter and IFBB pro. And it's a lot of pre-designed diet models that you can then kind of get started on and see what hitting your macros, micros with high quality foods actually feels like on your quality of life, muscle building potential, sports performance, etc. Anything else I'm associated with, all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.